We're back finally with Project Daily back in the garage. We're gonna do some work on it today. Just looking at my list right now, I think we're gonna just start on the rust removal. I have no idea what I'm doing here. I'm just gonna see, first we're gonna see how bad it is. I know the pinch welds down this whole side skirt under it looked pretty bad actually when we were doing the coilovers in summer tires. So I'm gonna check that, and also these arches just at the very front have a little bit of rust. So I'm gonna take everything or strip the side skirts off and look at it and see how bad it actually is. And then we'll go from there, because I have like sanding discs and paint strippers and rust strippers, so we'll strip it all down, see how well. And my plan is, if it isn't too bad, we're just gonna put some rust converter primer on it and then just leave it primed, because no use painting. And that is what we're working with. You can see actually there's some massive dents and stuff in it. You can see with the light, but there's the skirt that took forever to get out. And let's see, there is the clip that I still can't get out. And as you can see, he bondoed it. So I'm gonna grind that out and see what the damage is there. Little quick tip, if you guys are using the Subaru clips and you plan on using them again, when you pull them out, they widen right out. Actually, all of them are zip tied, but they widen right out. So what you do is you take a zip tie and then zip tie it around it, and then they are way easy to put back. I pried that clip out, it wasn't too bad actually. I just used side cutters and chopped it up, and then it came right out. But when I was in there, I started prying around. It looked like Bondo. It definitely is Bondo. And there's the bottom. So he did rust coat something. Some of it's like a black, it's almost like tar. So some of it's right there, it's still wet. Or not wet, but it's still like a good rust preventer. But then there's this stuff. Yeah, there's a bunch of like, handful of Bondo. But it looks like there's a dent here, and it looks like the Bondo goes up to this edge. Maybe it might even be a little bit of Bondo on the actual metal. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna definitely grind this down and maybe flatten these out, grind that down. But as per this part right here, I'm not sure, because I also want to get into behind here in front of the wheel and do this, and then do this up part. I went ahead and just did a little bit to look at it, and it's actually crazy. The guy must have really hit something hard. I cleaned it up a bit with the wire brush on the drill, and you can see all the bare metal. So there's still metal there, which is good, but like something got ripped out of here, so I don't know what I'm gonna do there. And then look up there, there's still a bunch of Bondo. I think half of this is like Bondoed. That hole is really thick, it shouldn't be that thick. So I'm gonna go ahead and just mess around and continue grinding. So I'll show you guys the process of that. I'll just do a quick little time lapse, and then once we get it down even more, I'll hopefully have a plan by then and show you guys what it is. So I've grinded away for probably over an hour now, and it just keeps on going and going. So there's where it definitely took an impact, and there's been so much Bondo I've taken out, and it actually continues up. That hole's not supposed to be there, nor this hole. I believe there was some kind of side skirts or something that got ripped off, and it just put a huge hole, because if you can see, I can put my finger in through the wheel well. So that will eventually need to be replaced. So you probably get a donor car and then cut the bottom rocker from up there all the way back, and then just weld this piece in. It just seems to be an ongoing theme with us here. It just takes way longer than expecting. I was just supposed to grind out a couple of rust spots and prime it and whatever, but it's not gonna be that easy. So next I'm gonna take off the other side skirt, and we're gonna check that out to see what the clearance is on the holes and stuff. Didn't even take me 5 minutes to undo those ones. It's definitely the deformation on the other side skirt or other rocker panel, because also all the clips are out, all the screws are out, and it's still staying perfectly on there. So I should just be able to, there, it's off now. I believe it's a problem actually with the actual rocker panel itself on the other side. So hopefully looking at this other one, we can see what's the issue and hopefully fix it up. After taking some measurements of like how thick the Bondo is and stuff, there's some spots that have a good layer of Bondo. So I think what we're gonna do is, I just did a little bit of research and we're gonna sand it down, make it all smooth, and then prime it. Took the sander and just started sanding it down, and you can already see how much Bondo there is. The whole side skirt is Bondo, or the whole size is Bondo. So we're gonna smoothen this out, hopefully smoothen up around here, so we can actually get the side skirts on better, because last time they weren't, like, almost all the holes have Bondo in them. But the plan is, I've just read a little guide and it's gonna go up in the sandpaper. So I'm starting at, I think this is the 100. This is the coarsest I have, and the coarsest I'm gonna prefer. They say some people do 40, then 80, but I think I'll sand off too much Bondo then. And then we're gonna slowly go upwards to, I think, 1,000, no, 600. I believe that I've just finished sanding down the Bondo, but I'm not 100% sure. I just did a test fit and it seemed to work fine and seemed to fit much better, because I sanded off in some places 1/8 of an inch of Bondo, which is crazy. The place there pulled that little hole back out a bit, and to do that, I think I'm gonna try to use a propane torch and a screwdriver. So I'm gonna heat it up and then just pull it out with this screwdriver, and it should work, I believe, so. So it looks like it won't be a one-day job. It's getting pretty late. It's about 10:15 or something, and I decided we might as well finish it, or attempt to finish it up tomorrow. I work the next 2 days, but I can do it before work, so we're gonna try to finish it then. But tonight we did get this whole side prepped. Tomorrow I just need to get the bed liner, or not bed liner, undercoating, and spray it, and then spray primer on the exposed Bondo. Also, I gotta just do a little bit of rust removal on this arch. That won't take long.